21 will come to order. Please call the roll.
Here.
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 All right, thank you. Bob Bryce is not here tonight. We will miss him at the meeting, but
Yes, we will.
we gave him a day off. Please read the Open Public Meetings Act statement.
Any comments from the public that are received via email no later than 4 p.m. by the minutes of the clerk will be read and discussed by mayor and council at the council meeting during the public comment period. Notice of this remote meeting is posted on our website with instructions on how the public can live stream this meeting.
Thank you. And I'll read the Zoom disclaimer. During the public comments part of the meeting, if you'd like to speak, please click the raise hand button and we will be notified of your request to talk. The mayor will recognize you and your microphone will be unmuted to allow you to speak. Once you have completed speaking, your mic will be remuted. For security reasons, we cannot recognize anyone who is listed as anonymous or a phone number that is not identified. When you are recognized and unmuted, you must first state your name and address before saying anything or asking any questions. Failure to do so may result in you being muted and/or disconnected. On computers, the raise hand button can be found on the webinar controls section, typically at the bottom of your screen. If you raise your hand by accident, please feel free to lower your hand. If you're only joining by dialing in, you can simply dial *9 and toggle between raise hand and lower hand. On mobile devices, the raise hand and lower hand buttons are typically found in the lower left corner of the screen. The meeting will also be live streamed on YouTube. There is roughly a 20-second delay in the process. YouTube chat will no longer be used for public commenting. At this time, I ask for the moment of silence. Thankfully, there are no locals that I've been informed have passed away, which is always good news. So keep your personal intentions in mind during the moment of silence, after which I will ask Councilman Borowski to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. Daylight savings time in effect since Saturday night. Longer sunlight hours out there. Definitely a little more warmth that you can feel from that sun during the day. That means the season is approaching. We are in the middle of the budget process. We were originally intending to introduce the budget tonight. With the $1.9 trillion stimulus that Congress passed, we are entitled to some of that money. We've been informed that approximately $183,000 will come back to the borough to compensate us for expenses. And we can dedicate that usage to water and sewer projects as well. So as of now, we are probably going to introduce it without that money being in the budget. The planned introduction is for the next meeting. And then by the time we get to final approval and passage of the budget, we'll have some direction from the feds. Right now, they're not telling us how we can use this money. The state's not indicating where it can go at this point. So without having those questions answered, CFO is a little hesitant to commit herself to using it. So we'll introduce probably without it and then amend to include it at the final adoption. All right. Approval of the minutes. We have minutes of the regular meeting of February 22nd, 2021. If there are no changes or corrections, I will ask for a motion on the minutes.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borowski?
Yes.
Councilman Bilton?
Yes.
Council President Taylor?
Yes.
Councilman Stonehill?
Yes.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
I have to abstain from that. I don't think I was at that one.
No, motions. Resolutions on consent, I'll read by number, accepting council comments along the way. At the end, I'll ask for a motion and a second and then take the roll. Number 96, establishing the preseason beach badge price of $50 through May 31st and the season badge price of $60 starting June 1st. 97, approving a facilities use application to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society for their annual charity bicycle rides through town and also using our Washington Avenue parking lot gazebo area as a rest stop at various times of the day on Saturday, May 8th, during the hours of 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Number 98, establishing the date for Founder's Day as September 11, 2021, and appointing the 2021 Founder's Day Committee. Let's hope we can have that this year.
What?
Founder's Day.
We're having it, aren't
We
we?
had to cancel last time, even though
I
we
know.
approved it. So
Well, I
we're
hope-
just hoping. That's what I
hope
said.
so. This is a big thing in this town.
Absolutely. 99, recognizing the month of April 2021 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. 100, approving a facilities use application to Team Zebra Multisport LLC to hold a 1 to 2 mile open bay water swim on Saturday, June 12th, and to utilize our Washington Avenue parking area for registration. That's a new one?
No, that's
No,
the same one.
same one.
Okay.
They're just doing
Same
everything
one.
now.
101, requiring mandatory governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
What's that mean?
That's like-
It means we can't use those records anymore to
You can't
determine
use-
whether we're going to hire or
and
fire.
we have to do it every year before the budget.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
we have to certify. It's just another piece of red
It's
tape.
a red tape.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 102, approving a facilities use application to Hammer Surf School to hold their annual surf camp at the Brown Avenue Surf Beach starting Monday, June 21st through September 4th, Mondays through Saturdays, 8 a.m. through 4 p.m. with 4 different class times in 3-hour intervals. 103, authorizing the conversion to change the name of the borough's pre-existing snow removal fund to a storm recovery reserve fund as ordered by the governor's executive order number 103.
Mayor, we historically keep approximately $30,000 in the snow removal trust fund.
Mhm.
It's a dedicated fund that is a prudent thing to do. We annually budget for snow removal, but if there is an expense that goes above and beyond, we have the 10-year storm, we have the wherewithal to accommodate that without budget. This past year, with COVID-19, we ran into some additional expenses regarding sanitizing buildings and cleanup that was required. And they decided that that's an appropriate use for that snow removal trust. But we anticipate that it will be replenished in its entirety with some of that CARES Act.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
We were looking to raising that level a little bit. I mean, we started that snow removal fund quite a few years ago, and just cost of living and everything else has gone up. We could maybe consider going up to 35 or.
Now would be the time to talk about that, Bob.
Exactly.
With the budget.
Normally, it's my understanding, Councilman, that we have an allocated amount each year for overtime, et cetera. And if we have a year where we don't utilize all that, whatever is remaining within reason, we try to add to the trust. It has been increasing, but the problem is it hits a number and people glean in on it and say, what's that? And they wind up using it or wanting to use it for other means. So that's where the philosophy of trying to cap it at 30,000, we could always
Raise it a little bit.
discuss it.
We
yes.
could, yeah.
Okay.
Next meeting, when introduction, you could pull that one up and,
Okay.
and discuss that, Bob. Number 104, authorizing the transfer of a 2020 veteran deduction credit to 2021 taxes receivable in the amount of $250. Number 105, awarding a contract to Kurtz Courts in the amount of $24,280 for repairs to the pickleball courts. All 8 courts down there in one contained area are going to be renovated.
I think we're all very happy to see
Yes,
that
we are.
taking place, Mayor. I know, you spoke of the increased values of the properties in Lavalette. I think it's appropriate that we take care of our backyard as well. And this is a fiscally responsible decision, and I think we'll all support it.
It's one of the most participated sporting activities that we have going on here. Really, I've never seen this kind of response to tennis, or even the basketball doesn't seem to turn out these people. I mean, I drive by there on a weekend. It's pretty incredible. So there is clearly a demand for it. 105A, determining the form and other details of providing for the sale and delivery of such general improvement refunding bonds. That's a resolution that we have in front of you, another red tape. So if there are no comments with regard to the consent agenda, I'll accept the motion.
So
Move
moved.
it.
And the roll call, please.
Councilman Borowski?
Yes.
Councilman Bilbon?
Yes.
Council President Dalen?
Yes.
Councilman Tokyo?
Yes.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Lam?
Yes.
That motion is approved. Approval of resolutions off consent. Number 106 is the bills list, the amount of $399,501.58.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borowski?
Yes.
Councilman Bilbon?
Yes.
Council President Dalen?
Yes.
Councilman Tokyo?
Yes.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Lam?
Yes.
And that motion is approved. Ordinance is on for first reading introduction. Ordinance number 2021-04. Ordinance of the Borough of Lavallette amending, revising, and supplementing Chapter 55B of the Lavallette Code entitled Stormwater Management in its entirety and replacing with Chapter 55B with a new Chapter 55B entitled Stormwater Management. Another state mandate, a lot of language in here that really is totally inapplicable to the Borough of Lavallette regarding streams and things. Phil, you want to give me a little more background on what we've got there?
Mayor, I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't hear me?
He's muted.
Must have heard you.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm sorry. I was muted as just as part of the general program. Yes, Mayor, we reviewed along with the engineer, the stormwater regulations. They were passed as DEP regulations. All municipalities are adopting the regulations in mass. It's not that our prior ordinance was defective. It just didn't include the new requirements. And basically, it was determined when we discussed it internally that we were better off simply repealing the prior section and readopting the entire section. It does cover what we need. It does, and there, as you said, there's a lot of excess which does not apply. But because the regulations apply to all municipalities, the engineer and I concurred that the best course of action was simply to repeal the old section, adopt a new one.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. Okay.
Mayor,
Yes, Jim.
I tried to digest that. It's about 30 pages.
Yeah.
And do we know, is there anything that's changing that's applicable to our municipality?
Councilman Borowski, I did try to look at that along with the engineer. We didn't find anything specifically that relates to it that would change anything we have. It's simply the changes appear to be in the calculations based upon the tables that are enclosed in the statute. So really, it's more of the way they calculate runoff needs, retention needs, than it is actually changing those rules.
I see. Thank you.
All right. If there are no other comments or questions, I'll ask for a motion on ordinance number 2021-04.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Borowski?
Yes.
Councilman Bilbon?
Yes.
Council President Dalen?
Yes.
Councilman Tokyo?
Yes.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Lam?
Yes.
And that motion is approved. Ordinance on number 2021-05, an ordinance to amend, revise, and supplement Chapter 90 zoning, Article
See?
40. XC is 40, I believe, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Entitled General Regulations, most notably amending,
90.
revising, 90?
Isn't C,
C-
100? Isn't
90-17.
C is 100, right?
Yeah.
All right, it's 90. Thank you, Donald. Oh, there it is right below it, 90. Supplementing, revising 90-17B and C, prohibiting any class of cannabis businesses within the geographic boundaries of the Borough of Lavallette. Prior to, this is businesses, Anita. This
Yeah,
is,
oh, yeah,
had nothing to do with,
We talked about this
right.
before.
we did before the
Yeah,
state law was
before the
passed,
state
we were preparing to adopt an ordinance. It's a good thing that we didn't because the new law required that all those ordinances be wiped off the book anyway, so we would have had to start from
Oh,
scratch. Phil
Anyway.
has been working on this one for us as well, prohibiting all classes of cannabis businesses within the borough of Lavallette. Phil, you got any other comments on that?
Just briefly, Mayor, for the council's information, uh, the new law that went into effect in the beginning of March gave municipalities 6 months to reconsider whether they were going to allow businesses in, if so, what classes or all classes, and it had to be adopted no later than August. Generally, the thought amongst the municipal attorneys is to get it done fairly quickly and use that 6 months as a time to debate and discuss. Excuse me. As Your Honor noted, we had been working on marijuana regulations as long ago as 4 years. But once we began to see the drafts of this legislation coming about as far back as the spring, in anticipation of the general referendum on the election, most of the bills said that any prior regulations by any municipality or county would be invalidated. So we held off on those efforts, and sure enough, it was passed. Now, what we're enacting is in accordance with the statute that says a municipality can act and can ban all of the businesses within 6 months of its enactment. So we're ahead of the curve on that, and the borough then has the time to consider it. One question that was raised in discussions, and it was in more than one town, is the last part of it that says, except for deliveries of cannabis products. That's in anticipation that some of these businesses will be licensed and that they will use delivery services just like regular pharmacies do now. And there are two forms of delivery that a municipality or a county cannot regulate. One is the use of delivery services that are interstate or intrastate because it impacts on mail and also freedom of access in and out of municipalities. So that's the one caveat. We included that. Otherwise, we included all categories of marijuana consistent of any of the businesses, the growing, the distribution, the processing, the delivery, and retail, based upon our prior discussions over the course of many meetings with regard to the borough's feelings on this subject.
Thank you, Phil. Based upon the geography here in town, I would think that most of those wouldn't occur in town anyway, except perhaps the retail sales. So that's really the biggest effect we're going to have is the ban retail sales here in Lavallette. They can go.
And Mayor, I note correctly, as you said, that this refers to the zoning aspects. It doesn't have anything to do with the anti-smoking, the use, the location in the town. And I'd also note that a number of towns and police organizations have already approached the legislature with amendments regarding the law enforcement pieces of this, which actually appears to be gaining some traction.
Yeah, we're happy to hear that as well, Phil. Thank you very much. Okay, if there are no other comments on 2021-05, I will ask for a motion.
I'll make it.
And a roll call, please.
Yes.
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 And that motion is approved. Final adoption for this ordinance as well as the stormwater management ordinance. Oh, there are different dates? Okay. Oh. Oh, all right. So May 3rd for the marijuana is the final hearing.
Doesn't the marijuana one have to go to the planning board as well?
Yes.
They've
Yes.
canceled their March 24th meeting, so we need to notify Mrs. Deutsch right away so that we have it. And I do have a side question to this, Mayor. Our current smoking ordinance is very specific to nicotine-based smoking. I think we have to add cannabis-based smoking and vaping to our smoking ordinance, not anything else.
Mr. George, would you look into that and see whether we need to supplement the smoking ordinance to include cannabis products? And
Your Honor, we already have. Under state law, the state law amendment would include vaping in any municipality that bans smoking in public places. However, we figure since we are going to have to amend it under the cannabis law, we are going to include the proper categories for vaping as well, anticipating that some vaping will be, of course, of marijuana products.
Thank you. As expected. Okay, back to the stormwater management ordinance. The public hearing and final adoption for that is the next meeting is April 5th. The public hearing, final adoption of the zoning, the marijuana is scheduled for May 3rd, but being informed that there are issues with it going to the planning board because of some cancellations due to lack of business. It may be delayed beyond that. We'll keep you posted on that one. Okay, ordinance one for final adoption. The public hearing is bond ordinance number 2021-03. Bond ordinance providing for the rehabilitation of the potable water system and well number 3, appropriating $225,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $213,750 in bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost thereof. Authorized in and by the Borough of Lavallette, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey. This is a rehabilitation of well number 3 located at Newark Avenue. It's similar to what we had to do last year with was that 2, Bob? Number 2? Number 4.
Number 4.
This one apparently is a little bit more in-depth than the last one. It's going to cost a little bit more because it's deeper. It's an essential requirement of providing adequate water supply during the summer season. It's a good investment in the infrastructure, which we've been doing a lot of investment in our infrastructure. So I'll ask for a motion.
Have you heard any, I asked Ted today, I haven't heard anything about the time when they're.
I don't know.
I was gonna ask Mr. Bryce.
Yeah, he's not in today.
The time frame, were you looking at it, the time frame on that?
We're hoping to have it done by 4th of July, Bob.
Okay, all right, great. Okay.
Are we gonna rely on the interconnection between the neighboring towns?
I think if we get into a delay, I hope not,
Yeah.
that to be an issue, but I guess we would.
Much money.
Yeah,
It is
it's
very
possible. That's why we're pushing to get this done as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
We'd love to not have to deal with,
Once Memorial Day weekends, that's another big one. We used a lot of water this
Yeah,
past week,
just
but
this
that
past
was a
week.
leak
yeah.
down on Newark Avenue,
Oh, yeah.
down close to your house. And
Wasn't it?
I know.
Wasn't me.
It was a
That's the
repair
swastika.
done about 30 years ago. It looked like it popped.
No
right
kidding.
Where they did it, Doug and Ted did that about 30
Yeah,
years
they
ago.
said about 1 million gallons were lost there. So we've,
We really
yeah.
had trouble finding.
So we filed an insurance claim on that.
Good.
Would it go into the storm? sewer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right into the
Yeah.
bay. So we freshened up the bay a little bit.
It wasn't me either.
It didn't cause a big
Wow.
collapse on the end of Newark, thankfully.
Mhm.
Okay, so back to ordinance number 2021-03. I thought I heard a motion from
So
Dave.
moved.
Public hearing. Anyone wishing to be heard on bond ordinance number 2021-03? No hands. Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Bobrowski?
Yes.
Councilman Wilson?
Yes.
Council President Salem?
Yes.
Councilman Stockdale?
Yes.
Councilman Pinter?
Yes.
Councilman Lamb?
Yes.
And that motion is approved. That takes us on to unfinished business. Council members with unfinished business day?
No, I'll make my comments. at the end.
Okay. Jim? Joanne?
No.
Michael?
I do. Just give me one sec. Regarding the picking up of beach badges, we do have times and dates set. It is on the website now. Beginning in May, Tuesdays in May. So that would be the 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th. Can be picked up between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Down at the library in the old baseball snack stand. Also, they can be picked up on Fridays in May, which would be the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. Those hours are 11 to 4.
Same place?
Same place, yes.
And that
And
building has been worked on,
Worked
Public
on?
Works.
Saw them today.
Oh.
they're starting, it creates a lot
Replace
more
the
room,
window, put some insulation in there, and so.
a lot more room to store stuffs that are running back and forth on time. A lot more room there to be
Very
much
good.
more organized. Then the badge office, let's see, the beach hours course June 19th through September 6th. Give me one sec. This is what's out. And then the badge office will be, those dates I always said, the Tuesdays and Fridays, that is pickup only. Then the badge office will begin on Monday, June 7th. Will be open 7 days a week from 9 to 4, Monday, June 7th, and that is pickup and purchase at that time. At the same location.
Are you going
yes.
to accept cash this year, or is it still? gonna
We
be-
are accepting cash this
Okay.
year, yes.
Very
Cash
good.
will be accepted this year. And as we read before, the preseason sale for the season badges is $50 through the month of May. Then on June 1st, it does become $60.
Very good. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
I have something.
Yes, Donnelly.
Since Bob isn't here, we have to talk about it. We're running into this problem with fireworks. Because it's July 4th.
Yeah.
And I've been trying since January. Every fireworks company, I guess because July 4th, they have very big shows.
And they're expensive.
Much more money than
Double
where
cost.
our budget is. So I've been turned down by basically, and I've gone out of state to even request. Most of them are asking us if we can do it on the Saturday before. The only one that did send me a proposal for July 4th for the 10, and we have gone up for $10,000 budget, not $8,000.
Oh,
Um,
so it's eight.
was Garden State Fire.
That's who did it last year, wasn't it?
No.
Who did it?
Extravaganza did.
Oh,
They said
but Garden
we-
State
we
used
have-
to do it.
Our shows are way too big. So then I thought they were being rude. So then I went and asked for a bunch of other ones, and they said the same thing. So I've only got one proposal from Garden State.
Huh.
Most of the other ones asked if we could do it on July 3rd.
That's the
That's
day
okay.
before.
Yeah, that's the concert we have on Sunday. That's why we always do the fireworks at the same time.
We could do it the week after. I mean, it's the call of council here, what they want to do. We're not going to be able to do it on the 4th period.
Because it's twice the amount
Yeah.
or more.
Would Wilbur Woodman be able to come out on July 3rd?
Oh, I mean, I can ask him, but I don't know. He's all scheduled
There'd be no problem.
like
So
they're,
we'll just add an extra cost.
Or move Sundays to Saturday.
move Sunday. Okay.
Or bring your piano on Sunday?
I think we should do July 3rd.
Okay.
Because I think that we'll get a better show, and we only have one proposal.
Do we have time to approve this at the next meeting after she
Okay,
talks to
I'll call-
Wilbur?
I'll talk to Wilbur.
I think so. I don't even.
How about we do an approval conditioned upon
Condition.
Wilbur being able to do the show on Saturday?
But I'm not even quite sure we have to approve changing the date. As long as we put it on the website and let everybody know.
Wilbur can, we can get Loveland Elementary School to play.
Just as a side note, I have a very slim margin of opportunity to change that.
Oh, so you need to call Wilbur
I'll
tonight
call
when you
right
get
away.
home.
Mhm.
Why don't we put a motion to approve it for the 3rd and subject to Wilbur being able to do it? If we don't have entertainment, I think we ought to not do it.
Not doing
Do it
it.
the
The band is
following
what, the
week.
music is what really
What
makes
would
it.
happen if we had, just hypothetically, if you had the fireworks on Saturday and this concert on Sunday, you'd have the whole weekend of something to do. You could always bring in,
But it's a combination
know,
of the music.
some
with the
kind of-
fireworks. It's beautiful.
some kind of piped in music.
July extravaganza.
Anita runs the
I'll
show.
find it.
I would go with her
I would
recommendation.
prefer him coming on Saturday, but I'm just saying.
We don't deal with content now. We just have to say that. we're-
Okay, I'll call him tonight.
Can we see if we can get a good price for the 3rd?
She already did.
What's the
We
price?
did that.
There's only one bidder.
Yeah, that's what I mean, you know.
Only
I
one,
can get, right now for the 4th, there's only one.
Yeah, but-
Garden State Fireworks.
and
Oh,
how
will
much is that?
others participate if we tell them it's
I
Saturday?
have 5 different
Oh.
schools that have come
Okay.
on July 3rd.
Okay.
Okay, July 3rd.
What was the cost for Garden State on
10,000,
10,000?
but I
about
don't
right.
have another quote. I mean, yeah, I could probably say this is the only quote we got because it's July 4th and nobody gave us other quotes, but my opinion is I think we'll get
Better price.
a better price, a better deal
Yeah.
on July 3rd.
That sounds great.
I
I
agree.
think we should do that.
Well,
And
I'll
Saturday
try.
night, the crowd will be.
Well, why don't we
Try and get
approve
Wilbur
it then
there.
for July 3rd, and then, you know, we'll see what Wilbur's got and decide. We can always cancel it, I suppose, right? If we decide that it's not right for the Saturday, but if we don't get it going now, then we're gonna miss the
Well,
opportunity.
you have to worry about the calendar
Right.
the published
Right.
calendar.
I make a motion that we,
Anyway, so I would say that.
And we may run into the crowd limitation size.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we have the opportunity to cancel it if those issues present themselves as they did last year. But I think we ought to approve it. Dave's made a motion to
Yeah,
approve.
make a motion that we move the July 4th fireworks to July 3rd on the Saturday.
Pending Wilbur can play.
Pending Wilbur.
Well,
or-
we're just gonna approve it, and
Or he
we'll
can,
decide to terminate it after today if we find out Wilbur can't do it,
Okay,
or there's other factors, we can cancel it, Bob.
okay.
So it's
Okay.
on for approval. The motion is to approve
Right.
July
second
3rd.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other comments? We got a roll call. I got a motion and a second. We'll take the roll then.
Councilman Borowski?
yes.
Councilman Philpott?
Yes.
Councilperson Salem?
Yes.
Councilman Stockdale?
Yes.
Councilman Pinter?
Yes.
Councilman Lamb?
Yes.
And that motion's approved. Bob, any comments?
Nope, I'm good.
I did have the opportunity to view the new dump truck the other day on the way into town. And, you know, I'm thinking, boy, we got a lot of nice equipment around here now. You know, we've done a pretty good job of replenishing down there. It came through town. It had a brand new plow on it. I think that's the 11th piece of equipment that we have for snow removal.
Mhm.
We've got that $30,000 budget. Again, I hope we never need to use the stuff, but we, I think, are extremely prepared for next season's snowfall. We're not going to talk about snow
No
anymore
snow.
this year since it's spring.
More.
Can't discuss it till November.
There you go. Okay.
If I could, one
Yes.
thing we talked about a little bit about the pickleball being done. That was a really great price. If you saw
Yes.
that under 25.
24.
Turn on
And
your
I
mic, Bob.
I talked to Ted today, superintendent, and he said that that included all the repair. Like it was
Yeah.
going to be just on the court, and then we'd have to have Public Works do around the courts. But no, this
Doing everything.
supposedly is doing it all. I haven't seen the contract yet, but that's my understanding.
Good.
So,
And a lot of people are very happy about that,
okay,
pickleball players and others.
okay.
It's really good.
All right, Anita, it's your turn.
Oh, I just want to let you know that I did attend the CDBG Zoom meeting. They had a Zoom meeting and about 5 or 6 municipalities showed up, and they were very happy that some people took the time to do that. And they did award me unofficially right then the $35,000 that we got last year. And unofficially told me later that come back and ask again for more like you did last year, and we might be able to get another 10,000 for you. So we'll work on that. So that would be great. And then it would be entirely paid for. And I'm proud to be able to present one totally ADA handicap beach for everyone in the summer. So that was that I did. I got a lot of calls about pickleball. Everybody was thrilled about it. I'm hoping we're going to keep that Founder's Day. Everybody will be thrilled once again. It's a great thing. It's a lot of work, I know, but it's really a great day in this town. So I hope we'll just keep our fingers crossed on that. Dave and I are working on the sweep. We did it last year. A lot of towns canceled out. They were very proud that Lavallette took the time to do it in a good way, social distance, and everything was great. Dave's going to go pick up the equipment, and we are going to have our beach sweep on April 17th. And I also spoke with Emilio, and once again, he's giving us $700 worth of gift cards. So that instead of coming up, we can't present donuts and coffee and all that. It's just not acceptable at this time. But we do give everybody who comes a $10 gift certificate to go, $5 gift certificate to go and enjoy the Dunkin' Donuts. And they will be open for April 17th. But so that's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. And Dave, you're going to go.
They open up on the 29th.
Dunkin' Donuts is going to open up on the 29th. Good. Okay. I just want to mention to you also that Matt told me that the calendar is at the printer, so that everybody knows the calendar is at the printer, and it takes about 3 weeks. So it should be back in about a week and a half. We would be looking at our April. Our old calendars go up to March, so we'll be collecting this just in time for April. I also wanted to mention that when I was in Miami, a couple of times I've been in Miami, I know there's a lot of bikers every place, but there are a lot of bikers. And in the busy streets in Florida, there is a law that says in a busy street, you must paint the bike lanes green so that we can be seen and people are careful about it. Cars can see it and stay out of it. Bikes can see it and stay in it. And I sent pictures of that to the NJDOT when I got back home. And they liked the idea very much. They said, tell us to do it and we'll do it. If it's something we have to do, we will do it. It's much safer. So I sent pictures to everybody. I actually gave, and in our League of Municipalities magazine, did you notice it? Yeah, the front page and the whole city of Jersey City, all their bike lanes are all painted green. And it's called Vision. It's a new program now. So I gave the magazine to Colin to look at and to talk to Bob about it and see if we can have the state paint the green bike path up this way and the green bike path down this way, one lane, so that you can actually see where you're going. It's not only good for the people, the residents, but the visitors are coming from all over. They don't even know where the bike path is. They see the white lines all over the street. They see a little picture of a bicycle. They don't know what that means. But if they're green, you really do see them. So I'm kind of working on that a little bit. And I have to say something else too. You know, when we wanted to put swings down at the new Brendan Tevlin Park, I mentioned the swings, and one of our residents came and wanted to give money for the swings in honor of her sister who had passed away young. She came, she gave us some money. We didn't have enough money. I came to a meeting and mentioned it, and everybody in town, they all gave enough money that we could buy those swings. They were about $8,000. And we made a plaque, and that plaque was going to be down near the swings. Well, they put the plaque up very, very high on top of something, so it's really, really high. And so one of the people called up and said, you know, I really would love to be able to, I can't even just about read the names up there. And when my grandchildren come down, they like to see the plaque, and it's too high. So leave it to Public Works. Called up Public Works and said, what can we do about this? So they looked at the bench, and the bench is not good to put this plaque on. It's not a good bench for it. It won't attach properly. And you know, they're very particular when they do something, they want it to last. So they didn't think that was a good idea. So Teddy calls me up, he says, Anita, we're gonna create something where we're gonna put the plaque up, right about up to your waist. We're gonna build something. I'm gonna show you a picture of it. And then if you want it, we'll build it and we'll put the plaque on it. So I told the families, the two families that, and they said, leave it to Lavalette. Who the heck would stop and build something special for a plaque? I said, well, that's Lavalette. So as soon as Teddy and Vinny come up with that plan, they're going to show me a picture and I'm going to send it to them. And they're very thrilled about that. So that will be happening. So in case, just to let you know. And there's so much wonderful things going on in this town. I can't remember all of them. But I think that's really great. Oh, I did want to thank, just to remind you, in our front table, they leave a lot of wonderful things. You saw the senior deduction. This is the defensive driving. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but my daughter and I last year, we somehow heard about it. It's a defensive driving online course. And if you do this online, you get a 10% discount on your insurance for 3 years. So we couldn't do it again because we did it last year, but I got 10% this year. They sent me a check, 10%, and then we do it again in 3 years. But I just want to let all of you know, pick one up.
That's the 6 hour course?
It's
You also
simple.
lose 2 points off your driving record. If you have a bad driving record, you could save 2
And
points.
yes.
Yeah, they take the point.
And JMBC.
And yeah, you lose 2. Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice that. No, free.
That's no cost, but I know a lot.
Well, if you have
Yeah, I
no,
just
if you-
did it in AAA, yeah.
No.
if
well,
you have no points, you should get more off. I mean, the person that's got a bad driving record gets a better bonus than the good driver.
Well,
That's
it
correct.
just says remove 2 points from your driving record.
I don't
easy
have
use,
2 points on my driving.
Save up
license.
to 10%.
Speed and get a ticket.
10%
No,
on
one
premiums. So
Okay.
I mean, they put some really great things out on that front table. Take advantage of it.
Very
Okay,
good.
take advantage. And also, I want to thank the borough because, you know, the
This is old business, right?
Yeah. Oh no,
We'll get you in a minute on
it's
new
old and it's
business.
new. Okay, go.
Okay, any other
Catch me.
old business? All right, we're gonna move on to new business, Dave.
Okay, I was driving down Bay Boulevard a couple of weeks ago and I noticed the street names on the signs.
Oh, some of them.
A lot of them, you couldn't read them or anything. So I gave a list to Teddy, and this past week, they're all new signs down here. You can actually read the street names now. So I want to thank Teddy and
God.
DPW for doing a very good job.
We're very.
Bob, how they doing with
very happy.
the sand movement on the beach up there? I heard that Seaside Heights got shut down for overdoing it a little bit.
Oh, really? Well, we haven't, we're gonna rent that, that vehicle, the front end loader, the real large front end loader, and it's a great price. 2 weeks, I think, for a couple $1,000s. But Ted said, why don't we wait till April? May there be another couple of storms before it, but we're gonna do that to push back some of that sand, but we haven't run into any problems. Versus in Seaside Heights.
Seaside Heights got
Right, I'll have
got
to-
smacked down by the DEP for getting a little overly aggressive
Yeah.
in moving the sand.
Which direction were they moving?
They're moving it east from the fence collection point.
It's exactly what we need to do too.
Right,
So
so make sure we clarify exactly what we're allowed to
I'll do
do.
that.
If you look in your box, there's something down there from the DEP about that.
Okay, I didn't see today. I
Yeah,
got my
yeah.
box today. Must have came in late today.
Checked it today. It's-
Okay,
So you might want to check before we start
No dogs on.
doing anything.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jim, any new business? Joanne new? Michael new? Bob new?
Nope.
Donnelly, anything from Bob new? Anita, you're up.
Well, I just want to say, I want to say thank you. The Moose is a great organization. I belong to it for 12 years now, and they give donations to first aid on this island and fire, and they give to everybody. They raise money just to give away. And one of the things that we did in this town was we put all posters out reminding people that they were collecting anything for women of the military. And they had posters out, and I put them on the bulletin boards and put them in the newspaper. And actually, people dropped them off on March 13th, one day, drop them off at the Moose. And Lloyd Mulligan, who delivers to all over the world with the services, he collects them all over and keeps them in his garage. He was on Channel 12 a couple of times with his garage full of stuff that he's ready to mail. Then banks usually give him postage. He spent $8,000 on postage one year because he just tries to fill out all their recommendations or everything they need. Well, he came with his pickup truck, but there was so much stuff to pick up at the Moose to mail that a friend had to come with her pickup truck. So I took pictures of it. It's going to be in the paper this week. And I want to thank the Borough of Lafayette because Borough of Lafayette advertised all of this, and they told me, please thank the people of Lafayette because a lot of them came down and gave a lot of donations. So I want to thank all of you. They want to thank us for advertising all of this so we could collect. It was wonderful. And I just was showing these things to Wally before. And I did get in touch. Dave went to the LBA meeting. I can't go because I'm in school, but the LBA had a business meeting, and I would have brought this up. The LBA brought those beautiful banners that are on our poles. They're blue. I wasn't paying attention to them when I saw this, but I saw these beautiful things, and I spoke with this guy on the phone because the snowflakes came from them. And I was talking to him because snowflakes hadn't been paid for yet because it was just a money thing, but they're paid for now. But anyway, they make beautiful, beautiful banners, summer banners with shells and beach things, and they're really beautiful. So I sent them all to, they send us a booklet every year, and I sent them all to LBA, but they're having a problem with money like everybody else this year, but they were interested in maybe one day they'll do it. Okay? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Anita. Okay, if there is no other new business, then we will move on to comments from the public. Matt? All right, we'll move on to council comments and come back to them if we need to. Michael, anything? Bob?
No.
Dave? Jim? Joanne?
Nope.
One more time, Anita.
Good. Join us April 17th. We'll have a great beach week. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Look forward to good budget introduction at the next meeting. We're looking pretty good fiscally, so I'm sure the taxpayers are going to be happy. April 5th is the next meeting, so the appropriate motion now would be a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. It's good to see you again.
Phil.